If you are struggling with packing a lunch, registered dietitian Andrea Hallwegner is here to show us some healthy lunch hacks, and these are some great ideas. I was already kind of prying into your brain before the segment started because this is a huge problem for me. So let's just start with some of the bigger mistakes that you see people make when it comes to meal planning, or lack thereof maybe.
Yeah, you know, certainly we spend a ton of time talking about supper meal planning in our office, and what I've realized is that lunch is like equally awful from a planning perspective for most people. And so often, unless you're someone that's kind of a meal planning geek that is great about planning things a week in advance, I find that the vast majority of people, at the bare minimum, the night before when you're having dinner, the number one thing you can do is really think about like what's for lunch tomorrow as you're cleaning up dinner.
And I thought it was interesting because you're saying that's not a bad thing. I mean, that's when you're in the kitchen, you're already doing stuff, so you might as well be thinking of it then. Okay. So you've got some ideas for some very quick, we are in a super big hurry, going out the door and don't know what to have for lunch. You've got some ideas to solve that problem.
You bet. What I want people to think about is rather than assembling an entire lunch at home, I want you to think about just throwing it into a bag.
Right.
Because most of us have a little bit of time at work where we could actually assemble something, you know, in 5 minutes and be able to sit down and eat a lunch there. I'm hoping.
But we don't have that time in the morning when we're bustling everyone off to the bus or whatever else we've got going on.
Sometimes it gets all soggy and gross if you're packing it the night before. So I prefer to fresh assemble, and it's speedier to do it this way.
Okay, so take us through a few of these.
Okay, so here's one of my faves. Love this. We even do this for dinner at our house. And you'll notice what I've got here is a wrap, some black beans. Notice I even put the strainer and the can opener there.
I was going to
throw it in the bag.
All the implements in there as well, right?
You can deal with that at work.
Right.
So what you're going to do is you're going to put, you could make this hot if you've got a toaster oven at work, or just assemble cold. You've got your beans, your salsa, you've got some grated cheese ready to go. Slice up the pepper there, and then have your blueberries for your dessert. You're good to go.
And lots of these things you'll have in your fridge anyway, right?
Yeah, when it comes to backup meal planning, what I want people to think about is what are the minimum 3 to 4 ideas you could have at your house at any time to pull together a quick supper or lunch. And these are some of the ones that work really well that just don't require a lot of prep.
Yeah.
Always having a good backup plan is what we want if we don't have leftovers or we're running out the door.
Yeah, let's go to the second example.
Second example here is peanut butter and bananas. You could also use any kind of a nut butter. You could use a wrap or a large pita bread. I've got little mini whole wheat pita breads here. You're going to put some peanut butter in there, some sliced banana, a little bit of hemp hearts, a little bit of coconut. And then notice I didn't chop vegetables. I didn't assemble, so I just brought the bag. Just throw it in.
Just throw it in there.
Eat your veggies at work.
Yeah. And then this is a little more preppy. So you got some sort of hard-boiled eggs and that kind of thing going with the third example?
This is kind of more of like the snacky style one. For someone that's just like, nah, I don't really want a sandwich or something. Again, you might leave a whole bunch of these, like bring a whole bag for the week and then assemble lunches out of snacky kind of things. So you could do up some hard-boiled eggs. You can even buy them pre-hard-boiled. Again, I didn't slice the cucumber. I just threw it in the bag.
It with you, yeah.
Some snap peas and hummus, some yogurt and fruit. We've got little bocconcini balls and tomato, which makes a really yummy salad when you get to work. And then, of course, what I love to do is a rye-based cracker with some cream cheese and some little cucumbers or peppers on top instead of a sandwich.
So we just want to, and still we want to think from a nutrition point of view, what are the keys to when we're throwing this together?
You bet. So 3 things for balance always when we're thinking about a meal. Some sort of a grain or starch. Our brain needs that carbohydrate to fuel energy throughout the day. If you skip it, mid-afternoon, energy levels are going to start tanking. And then we get a little hangry and start eating down the house when we get home from work. So not a good scene. Second component is a fruit or a veggie, preferably even both, because most people are falling short in that category. And thirdly, a good source of protein, because that's what's going to sustain energy, fullness, keep you going throughout your workday and keep you really productive.
I love it. Great ideas. And don't forget, just throw the can opener in the bag with
it.
Off you go. Great stuff as always. As registered dietitian Andrea Hallwegner. And for more information, head to healthstandnutrition.com.